And we are live. We're back to recap the week in Big Brother and hit you guys with a bunch of spoilers. So if you don't want to hear what's going on, then you should tune out. We did miss around Brittany's eviction, but was it that exciting that we actually missed podcasting that week? Which brings us to the current round with Derek leaving. Derek X leaving, I should be more clear. How do you guys feel about him being backdoored?
I think it was a smart move gameplay wise. I really like Derek X. I didn't want him to see him go yet, but if I was in there, I would have been definitely on board to send him out of there right now because he was really good at competitions.
Yeah, he was really good at competitions.
Yeah.
But he was against Claire. I mean, as a member or a partial member of the cookout, he should have technically had the numbers to stay.
Right. I think that it was definitely a good move for the cookout to kick Derek X out because he would have, if he stayed in any longer, he would have, he wouldn't have been able to stay too much longer because the cookout is kind of running everything as it is. But he did, he would have been a very big threat to win if he made it to that final two.
I agree. Which brings us in. So this is where the spoilers are coming in because Big Brother is getting so good. Our girl Tiffany, let's talk about her. She originally won HOH. I'd like to talk about the drama. Can we not call her a bitch or the C word because she's strong? I love her. I know she's a little crazy, but I feel women get a bad rap at this point in games because she's not being a bitch. She hasn't called anybody out by name or gone hysterical like Derek F has. I think she's been controlling a lot of HOH decisions when she hasn't been HOH. Yeah, she gets excited and says, I'm going to flip the vote and doesn't do it. But that's just an edit Big Brother wants you to watch and thinks something's going to happen. So I wouldn't necessarily say that she's flaking out on some of her ideas.
I think that I like Tiffany because, of course, I love a good villain. I'm not gonna say she's a villain. I'm gonna say she's an anti-hero. And I love a good anti-hero. And I think Tiffany, I love a good bitch. So if that's what everyone wants to call her, then so be it because she is definitely the queen right now. And I feel like she is did what we last time we had a conversation, we was like she just need to win up HOH and she's done that. So she is perfect in my book. She's doing everything strategically, not maliciously, except for the Whitney eviction. But everything else besides that was very strategic and not malicious, and it made sure it was getting the cookout to the finals, even while Ozzy and Derek F was all over the place.
Yeah, so Tiffany has definitely taken kind of the leadership role in getting the cookout to that to farther in the game. She definitely has positioned herself in I don't know if y'all are Survivor fans, but I'm going to use this reference real quick from like Kim from One World, being like the motherly figure, being like, oh, I'm the one you're going to come to, if you need advice or, and she's done that with every single person. Mm-hmm. And so I know we're probably going to talk about winner picks at some point during this podcast. We should at least. And I think my winner picks though, like I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but I'll just say Tiffany or Xavier are in the best positions right now to win the game, take home the $750,000.
I agree with that 100%. I think she's playing an amazing game. But sometimes that motherly role, when we've seen it backfire, it's just going to take them all to realize that, wow, she's going to get all these jury votes. If she makes it to that stage, I feel like she's going to have to win that final comp to bring herself there. I don't think anybody else is that dumb to bring her with if they're looking to win.
I think she might have a chance to get there only because if Xavier and Kylan is still there, I really think the cookout would try to get them first. If they were smart, I don't think Ozza and Derek Evans a threat. Like, if they happen to go up on the block, yes, I'd send them home at the opportunity I got now that we're at 6. But if it happens to be Kylan and Xavier on the block, yeah, I would definitely capitalize on getting one of them out before we even get to that point of the final 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll agree with that. So kind of what I really wanted to talk to y'all about tonight was kind of what's going to happen in the next couple weeks. This week, spoiler alert for everybody at home, but I'm just going to spoil the week for you already. Sarah Beth is going home. There's no question about that. She's gone. She's blown up her game. Sarah Beth's gone. But
and it's a crazy round, though, to have 3 nominees where only one is leaving. X is on the block due to a punishment from last round, so he's the 3rd nominee. But my thing is, these are Tiffany's noms. Claire played in the challenge, which gave her the chance to take over the HOH, the secret HOH, and that's really good and stuff, but I don't understand leaving the noms the same.
I don't understand either. I'd like to
I mean,
see
she
why.
had the option to change these. I'm not saying she should. I'm not saying I want other people to go home. I'm just saying, why do you put that effort into being it and then it's who it is?
Here's my thing. The cookout is pretty much to the final 6. Who we got left? We got Claire, we have Alyssa, and we got Sarah Beth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at it like this. Claire is probably, I don't know why, like I said, I don't understand why she didn't change the noms, being as though, well, you know what? She didn't change the noms because Kylan put her on the block at one point in time. Tiffany is her road dog in the house. She knew Tiffany had the HOH. She dethroned her. I think to not be on Tiffany's bad side, it made sense for her to leave them the same. She already wanted Kylan gone at some point because Kylan put her up without an explanation, really. And then Sarah Beth is just who everyone low-key wants out. Tiffany's definitely been in her ear with that one or whatever, which is very smart. And I think I don't know if Claire thinks that Kylan is going home, but definitely not. So I don't know, and I don't think she didn't change the votes. Another reason she didn't change the votes because who would she put up? Like, it's 2 people already pissed off at, you know what I'm saying, Tiffany or whatever. Who would she put up? Because if she put anybody else up, Tiffany's been going to bat for her. They're going to come after her, and then Tiffany's going to be mad at her because now she has a target, and now Tiffany has to do more work to try to save Claire again.
Yeah, those are true statements. No, I mean, I get that part, but I mean, this is your shot. Claire, being from the LRG world, I think she's had like what we all would consider the dream going in. She got to be the first in charge, picking her team. She got to play the coveted, hang off the wall as fast as you can, HOH. She got the unitard for the season, which means she'll be trivia from this point on in Big Brother that she should have done something with. I mean, she even got the power that we love to hate, the 2 weeks of safety where she sat around. I mean, we love that power when somebody we like gets it, but we hate it when somebody we hate gets it. I just feel like this could have been that defining moment where she pushed herself forward.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's just having fun because for some reason in the back of my head, I think production is probably telling them like, don't do this, or like probably helping her stay light in a way. Like in my gut, I feel like production is helping her stay light in a way. Like, don't do that, Claire. America likes you. You might
That's
want to
possible. I don't know if did you guys see the clip they caught? So this is the round before the round that Derek X leaves us. Before he was on the block when they went to play the high roulette room or whatever, the high rollers room. When he said he wasn't playing, he said production had asked him, "You're not safe and you're not playing." He said production asked him a couple times, and he should have took that as a hint. So I would assume, I don't know if they do that to everybody or if it pushes. This is one of the things when Ronnie comes back. we're gonna
Yeah,
have to
and
have a
say
talk with
a
him
lot of
about.
people that I
Yeah.
know from reality TV have told me, like, I know a lot of people from Bad Girls Club, and they always tell me that production definitely will push you into a direction. They might not tell you this, but they'll try to push you into a direction. And that's what I really think happened with Claire. I think they pushed her in a direction to do that. But I think
Well,
that
regardless of what.
Claire has won for real. Like, I don't think she's going to win the season, but she's won for real. Like you said, she just won everything that she wanted to do on Big Brother besides win the game. So
Right.
I think production is probably egging her in a direction that you've already won for real. Like, this is the season for something different, and probably nudged her in that direction, which is good to me.
Yeah. And so, like, you know, as a creative of live reality games myself, I can agree with you guys there and actually kind of just say that there is truth to the whole thing behind, oh, production sometimes pushes contestants, you know, to do things. Not necessarily I do it, but you know, I do know that there is some bias from the production team towards certain contestants as opposed to other contestants. Not saying that Survivor Colorado is rigged or anything, but you know, it just happens, you know, because you just get so into the show as fans, and when you're filming those types of things, I think that happens on the
Yeah.
real
Well, I
show
mean,
as
it's
well.
kind of like that for Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jeff
They're also,
pushes people at tribal council for answers.
yeah,
So
they're also producing. So at the same time, they're probably trying to keep a story going that they want or that they like the most. So that's probably why they're doing that. Or if they're doing that, that's probably why.
Definitely. So yeah, but it is really interesting to see how that's gonna play out in Claire's favor or not, because I do think that Claire is in a good position. Like, she's not in the best position at the moment in the house. She may be head of household, but I feel like she's the next on the hit list for the cookout. And she's like, I
well, at least
feel.
she gets to play for HOH next round.
Mhm.
Her and Tiffany both. So that's a plus.
Yeah.
So
But do
maybe
we
if
think
that's the
Tiffany
case,
would nom Claire?
I
If
I
don't think
Sarah Beth
Tiffany would.
leaves, that only leaves Alyssa and Claire that aren't
Yeah,
in the mix.
I think Tiffany would put Alyssa and somebody from the cookout, and then if anything, Claire would unfortunately get a backdoor. But I don't think Tiffany would backdoor Claire either. I think that Tiffany wouldn't be the ones to even try to go at Claire. I think it'd probably be Derek F would go after Claire. I think Kylan, of course, would go after Claire again, putting him up again, and I don't know if Xavier to protect Alyssa.
Mhm.
So Claire, if Tiffany or Ozza win it, if Tiffany, Claire, or Ozza win it, I think Claire might be safe for another week. But if they don't, I think she might go home.
Do you guys think that Tiffany, you know, she's being real with her like relationship with Claire, or like throughout the season, or she's more loyal to the cookout? Like, because we're getting down to
I
it, you
think
know.
I think she's more loyal to the cookout, but I think that she likes Claire a lot more than other players in the cookout. I think she just sees what they're supposed to be doing. I think that her relationship with Claire is a lot realer than a lot of the people that she's interacted with in the house. Because I know she didn't really care for Brittany. She didn't really care for Whitney. There's a lot of people you could tell she really didn't care for. And Claire told her not to play in the high roller. She played anyway, and she played for Claire, and she was safe. So I think with Claire, I think their relationship is real, but I do think she's more loyal to the cookout.
I just think, the agenda with the cookout, which is a great agenda. We've never had this many people of color be able to push that agenda on a reality show. So I think with Tiffany, that's like the major thing, which is a really good thing. But I think any other situation, she would choose Claire. She has proven a bond with her, which has got to be rough. I mean, even if you had an alliance or different situations, when you bond with that one person and it's just not in your future to work it together or stuff. But yeah, I
Right.
do think it's real. I don't think she used Claire or was twisted with her.
Same thing with Brittany and Ozzy and Derek F, except for Ozzy and Derek F was going about it totally different. Like, they were really crying and like getting emotional about it. And I think that Brittany might feel the type of way about it after the show, but I don't think Claire is going to feel the type of way about it at all. I think she's going to watch it back and be like, okay, it all makes sense now. And I stayed a long time. They wasn't after me right away. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree with that too. So then we know who wins veto, correct?
Hannah.
Hannah wins veto.
Yes.
And officially, it's not till tomorrow. Today's Sunday, so tomorrow is. But I don't think she's using it. It would be dumb of her.
Right.
Yeah, she has nobody to use it on, I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah. If it was Derek X, though, she'd probably be used it on.
Yeah, but if it was Derek X, I think who they want out was still, and she'd use it on Derek X, I think it would still go the same. Sarah Beth would still go home. Sarah Beth not only blew her chances in the house, I think she blew her chances with America too. She just kept telling America to wipe their butt with their BB bucks, and she just kept saying America doesn't like her and all this other stuff. And after a while, America's gonna be like, "Girl, okay, now I don't like you."
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. When I saw she made that comment in that episode, I was like, "Whoa, okay." Like,
yeah, her character is not a character that can just say that and we laugh about it. You're like a character that's like, "What, girl? No, time for you to go home."
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's also kind of been playing kind of a villainous role this season as well, kind of in the background, especially like when she sang her little song about like, what was it, like, time to vote everybody off, to like ring around the rosy. I don't even know, but hey, it was crazy.
And she was hardcore trying to get Hannah out that 1 week, hardcore. And I was like, okay, Sarah. And Tiffany sees. One thing I do like about Sarah Beth, I can tell Sarah Beth is an alpha female. So Tiffany is an alpha female too, and she can see it, and she's been seeing it for a long time, and that's why I think Sarah Beth was in trouble for a while now. Because Sarah Beth she's definitely will speak up and say something.
I agree with that. I agree. I think also Sarah Beth, she it just seems that she's gotten on a lot of people's nerves in the house lately. And I think that's especially like Tiffany. I think that's one of the reasons that she's like on the block and like probably going to go home this week.
Yeah, Sarah Beth is a little bit. Her vibe is very entitled, and it's like you won one HOH, and you don't. I don't know if you think you were like a head of a alliance or anything, but you were a background player the whole season. Even while being in all these alliances, none of them were real except one.
So now with it coming to so eventually it's just going to be the cookout. Do we think it's going to be men versus women once this happens? I'm really shocked that there are this many women left this late in the game. That's also a plus feature, but are we going to fall into old habits? So it's the cookout left. Do the men stick together and get the ladies out? Do the ladies try to do that? What do you think? I think personally, Derek F is the first to go when it has to break up, but
I think Derek F might be second. I think Kylan might be first. I don't think it's going to be men versus. I don't think it's going to be men versus women. I think it's going to be the cookout versus the cookout. Kylan has been getting on their nerves a lot, so they might want him first because they've been talking about his ego and how he's got on a power trip. So I think it might be Kylan first, and I think Derek F might go after that. Then I think they're going to go to war, but I think Oz is going to go after that, and it's going to be between Hannah, Xavier, and Tiffany.
Yeah. So I've actually been thinking about this question a lot today. And I'm wondering, is it possible I could share my screen real quick and kind of give y'all a little rundown?
Yeah, you should be able to share.
Okay, cool. I believe I should be able to. Okay, perfectly. Okay. Let's see if this will work. Is it working?
No.
No. Okay. Shoot, I had a whole thing. Guys, give me a couple seconds here. I'm gonna.
Sure. Yeah, it's allowable, so you should be able to.
Okay. Y'all can keep talking.
We can go back to another thing. So if we didn't have these teams when we set up, we've talked about it privately, but does the cookout make it this far without having the whole teams are safe during that?
On this season with the agenda they're trying to push, I think maybe yes. If it wasn't the agenda they were trying to push and it was another season, I don't think so. I think Tiffany and Oza would have went at it for a while in the beginning when they first got into when they got into like a little thing. I think that would have went on for a while if it wasn't Save the Cookout in the back of their mind.
Right, right. I'm hoping Tiffany and Ozza are part of the final 3.
I don't. I hope it's like I said. I hope it's Xavier, Hannah, and Tiffany. I want Tiffany or Hannah to win, but I would be fine with Xavier winning as well because Xavier's been playing very well.
Alex looks so deep in thought. He's like, I've
Yes.
got this.
I'm anxious to see what we're gonna pull out.
Oh, here we go. All right, perfect. All right, so can everybody see my screen?
Add to stream. Yeah,
there it is.
we can.
Okay, awesome. So, awesome. Okay, here we go. Wow. All right, that's crazy. All right. Well, if I hope you guys can see this real quick, because I pulled up a link to just. Can everybody see this, or is it like super
Yeah.
everything? Okay. So I pulled up a little page of like who's left right now in the game. And so what I wanted to kind of go over and like tell y'all about is, so according to something, I don't know if y'all can still see this.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all see the calendar right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay. So according to the official TV schedule for the rest of the season, the finale for Big Brother, the season of Big Brother, is going to be happening on the September 29th. And right now, there's like physically not enough like weeks left to get rid, like down to 2 people by the night of 29th. So I was looking into it a little bit more. On the 16th is going to be a 2-hour triple eviction night. So spoiler alert, but also I'm letting y'all know. So what do y'all think about that?
The triple eviction night. Ooh.
Pretty sure the 16th will be. It's not.
So
100%
is it 3 leaving at once, or will we have a double evict and then another night? I mean, another round that night of a single evict.
I have no idea. I'm just kind of playing it as I've kind of figured, because at the moment, even if there are like 2 people left at the very end, with this week plus like the next, like there's just physically not enough space. So it would have to be a triple eviction on the 16th. No idea if it'll be like how they'll format it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking, because it is going to be a 2-hour episode on the 16th. So, but here's the funny thing is that if this week, I don't know if y'all can still see my mouse, but if this week Sarah goes, so she's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's just say, I don't know, let's just say Xavier or Kyland, or I don't know, just let's say Kyland wins the next HOH after this week. Let's just for just theorizing purposes, right? Or just any member of the cookout. They're most likely going to put up these 2 over here, Alyssa and Claire, and then either one of them will go home, and then likely if they do the triple eviction like they did last season, they'll start the episode with one eviction, and then they'll do
the next one is the double, right? Yeah, that's what I just looked up how it worked, because I'm like, they did it 2 seasons ago, right? 3?
I think they did it last season.
Oh, I don't remember it last
Yeah,
season.
they did a triple last season.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely how it'll work. Well, that'll be a good live night.
Yeah, so, but that would be interesting, because that would actually be, let's just say Alyssa is on the block right then and there, and she's the last person left standing, that's not a member of the cookout, then it would look like that it would just be the cookout members left in that lot, and they would instantly have to go kick out 2 of their members. So my question is, who do y'all think, if that's the case, if a cookout member wins this next week and it's not Claire Alyssa, Like, what do y'all think?
He's the first to go from the cookout?
Yeah, what do y'all think is going to happen? What do y'all think was going to happen?
I think it depends on who in the cookout wins. I feel
Yeah.
if Derek F finally wins something, he's going to target Tiffany.
Yeah.
It's no secret he doesn't like her. But I feel if Tiffany won it, she would target Derek F just because, so that would be that. I don't think she would target Derek F. I think she might, I would love her not to target the women, but for some reason, I see her wanting Tiffany to go.
Yeah.
So, and I think others would follow suit. So unless Tiffany wins, I see her being the target.
I don't know. Okay. So we're saying if Claire and Alyssa are automatically gone. And okay, we lose Sarah Beth this week. If Kylan wins, yeah, Tiffany might go. If Ozza wins, if Xavier wins or Ozza or Hannah wins, I don't think Tiffany would go up. But yeah, if Derek F, yeah, she'd be the target. If Kylan, I think she'd be the target as well. But on the flip side, I think Kylan will be the target. It's either Tiffany or Kylan. I think that's what it is right now. It's either if somebody wins from the cookout that's more team Tiffany, they're going to put up Kylan. If they're more team Kylan, they're going to put up Tiffany. They're like the two main ones in the cookout besides Xavier. But
I don't know. I think once they reach their agenda and they're all at that point where it's just them, they've got to start thinking jury votes. They can't be oblivious knowing that Tiffany was cool with everybody who just went out. I mean, literally, Tiffany has no blood on her hands for anybody in that jury. Even this round, it's not her fault who's going to jury.
That's true.
She is buddy with everybody in there.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the thing, is that's scary because, since she's so close to everybody, will she be?
But do the people in the house that's still in the house, like in the cookout, know that she had these relationships with people in jury?
I mean, I think if they sat down and thought about it, I mean, it was obvious to us. I know that we get to watch the feeds and we get to see the edit the way they want us to see it. But I mean, it couldn't be in the back of their heads, like noticing, who's sad, who gets the longest hug. Or is it just me? I notice people's behavior, like the goodbye, and they've all been civil with Tiffany. Like they all can't just notice that. Nobody's mad at Tiffany.
Yeah, but okay, and you're right because Derek X did call her out one time when she was calling out Whitney for the same thing you had just said, and Derek X was like, "But we all do that." So, like when she was talking about they were hugging for too long, and it was like, "Well, we all do that." So I don't know. It might be in the back because Tiffany, when people leave the house, Tiffany does hug them for a long time. So I don't know. She's definitely playing though. She's definitely getting jury votes. Sad to see you go. Long hugs.
I mean, she's really smart. That's a smart thing. Comfort them on their way out. Be the hero. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see her as the villain or the anti-hero. I mean, I think she's playing. She wants to get to the end under her terms.
Exactly.
I don't know. I agree with that, but I just don't. It's really hard. I just can't wait to see what happens when we get there because I just hope that Tiffany or anybody from the cookout goes before Derek F. I want Derek F to just go.
Me too. I mean, usually in the seasons when we get to this point, we know the boot order. We can pretty much call it. They're going. That's a really exciting thing about the 6 making it to the end. I have no idea. I'm just
literally
just crazy paranoid that it's going to be Tiffany, but I really don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think. It's going to be interesting because I think Derek and Ozza are going to stick together.
I think so too. I think they will stick together.
I think Kylan's going to be kind of a wild card because he's really been kind of riding with Sarah this whole time. He might try to team up with Xavier a little bit. I think Tiffany and Hannah are probably going to stick together. But I don't know. It's really interesting because then they're going to be kind of all campaigning for each other's votes, and I don't know that, and if it's in that short amount of time too, with like the 16th, it's all playing out on live. Like that's going to be just crazy, and we're not even going to be able to see that because they usually just cut to commercial right when the strategy breaks go. They just
Well,
air
maybe
the
what needs to
competition.
happen. So did y'all say that Claire and Tiffany can play in HOH next week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe what needs to happen is Claire needs to win again, HOH again,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
that
what if
way,
they go after Alyssa? Can they convince her?
I think they can convince her to go after Alyssa. But at the same time, it is the triple. If it's the triple, y'all talking about next week being the triple, right? Or
Well,
No,
week
this
after.
would be so this week and then next week and then the week after. So
So
that
yeah,
would be
3
when there's
rounds.
6 people left, anyways.
oh, this is hard. I would kind of want one. I would kind of want one of them to Alyssa or Claire. One of them has to stay, and one of the 6 can't make to the 6. That's the way I see it. One of the 6 can't make it to the 6, so that we can make sure that we get some drama out of the 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, if one of the 6 doesn't make it, and then that one that's the odd man out wins one of those HOHs that night, especially that first one, I mean, that's going to set a tone. I mean, I'm excited to see what goes on.
Yes.
Either way it works out. I really hope Tiffany makes it to the end, but these next couple rounds are going to be super interesting.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you guys let me ask, who do y'all think is the winner of the season in your opinion right now?
If Tiffany makes it to the end, Tiffany wins, no matter who she's sitting against.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany, if she's not up against Xavier. Yeah, Tiffany, if she's not up against Xavier. I was saying Kylan, but after our conversation today, I would say Tiffany or Xavier. It depends. If them two are sitting next to each other, that's going to be a bloodbath of who wins. But if Tiffany doesn't make it to the end, I'm giving it to Xavier. I think Xavier might win it.
I'll
I
agree.
can see that, yeah.
I'll agree.
And if the two of them happen to not win, Hannah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So basically, we're just saying we don't want Joe F to win. I mean, Derek F. Joe F.
I don't
I'm
want
calling him Joe.
I don't want Ozzy to win either. She's done absolutely nothing but be pretty and ride with the cookout all the way to the end and be emotional, throw temper tantrums when they're trying to save her. And yeah, no.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think yeah, it would be interesting. I think Derek F is definitely he's going to get cut out pretty early, especially if he makes it to that triple eviction night. I mean, also, I just want to point out, I want to talk to y'all about this real quick. I just find it so funny that every week, Derek F, I sadly to vote.
Yes,
That's been bothering Bossy since round 1.
Yes, because I feel like at this point, sir, you are doing it on purpose. Like, you know that is not how it goes. Like, you have had week after week to get it right, and you still getting it wrong. So at this point, you are playing it up for the camera. You are being a character now, and you're just messing it up on purpose.
Yeah, I definitely could tell that he was like slipping up for the first couple weeks because he said like, I think the first week he said like, I cast to evict.
Yeah, he said, I sadly to evict Alyssa.
Yeah, I sadly to evict Alyssa. And then he was like, I cast to evict. And then I think he was like, I sadly to evote. And then and then he did that second weekend, and then he's done it ever since. So
and then need to get him those cards.
Production might be telling him to mess it up again. It's going viral on Twitter.
And I think Julie Chen kind of even called him out one time on it. She was like, "You sadly to evict." Like I remember she said that. It was funny, but yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. So I guess we can move forward and say Hannah's probably not using the veto tomorrow. Noms are going to be the same, and we have 3 days of hearing Sarah Beth.
Oh my gosh. She's going to be crying and whining. But one thing about Sarah Beth, I will say she is a fighter. She's going to try to fight and stay. And it's going to be cringeworthy to watch, but I'm here for it.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, she's gonna cry. She's gonna be sad, but once she gets taken out, it's really the HOH is up for grabs, and it's like if Alyssa or Claire win that next HOH, or honestly the next two HOHs, if one of them wins, it could completely dethrone the entire cookout plan, and then shit could go interesting.
But they would have to not put each other up. I mean, that would be the only thing, all the promises that could happen. Look, it just put up Alyssa or just put up Claire and this and this. That's the only downfall of that. If they both can win back to back, that's great. But they also need to not target each other, which I don't think either would do. They're going to try to go for that third week. All right, well, if I get rid of Claire, you promise me this over that. And we know that doesn't work.
Well, at least we know we only for sure got 2 more weeks left of that, and then we're in the final stretch. And yeah,
I'm excited to see their dynamics once they go against each other, and they're all there to play. Again, this is one of the few seasons we don't have people being like, "Oh, I'm fine with jury. I get my stipend. It's cool. I'm here to be a model." Stuff like that. Like nobody said, "Okay, I'm cool with jury" so far. So I love that. I love that they're all there and they want to be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, a couple people said they're okay with jury. Like Derek X near the end, he was saying he was okay with it, but that was kind of after his face.
I was gonna say, I think once your face written on the paper, you try to tell yourself that, like, okay, it's not too bad.
Be okay. It's gonna be okay. Yeah.
But inside he's crying.
I think Derek X is going to get America's favorite this year.
Definitely.
I think we'll see Derek X on another season.
I think Derek X and Tiffany for sure.
Definitely, 100%.
And they're gonna just bring back Frenchie because the world loved him.
Yeah, well, he was entertaining.
He was entertaining to watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He really set the tone for the season. Actually.
Well, we all had him pegged as first boot, and he wasn't, but he did go the following round, so we were almost right there. And if I'm not mistaken, because there were 6 of us here with JT and TJ, and I had my paper here and I lost it. 5 of the 6 of us had Tiffany at the end in their final 3.
Yeah. Oh, really? Really? Was I a part of that? Did I?
I do believe so. I had a piece of paper and I wrote it on when we had our first podcast, and I put it over here, and it's not here because I'm the most disorganized person, but I will find it before the next Dreamcast, and I have everybody's list and we'll go over it and see who was on cap. But Tiffany was 5 out of those 6.
Well, I don't know if I had her. I know
Claire, I think, was on 3 of our lists.
I don't think I had her.
Tiffany, Claire, and there was one other that ranked really. Oh, X, but he's gone. Derek X.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see how that all plays out in the next couple weeks. I'm really excited to. I think if we could get everybody here for like the last week or whatever, I'd love to do maybe a podcast. On the 28th or a couple days before the finale. Because once the 16th hits and there's that big live thing, then there's only one more week of classic gameplay, and then we're at the finale night. So it's just going to start getting crazy, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely get one in before that. Ronnie has said interest in coming back, so it'd be great to get his final opinion on things. We can ask him that production stuff if he can tell us, Wink once if it's true.
I think Ronnie's contract has been up. I'm pretty sure he can tell us.
So we'll have some questions to ask him. But as far as that goes, we enjoyed talking about it. Everybody who tuned in, thank you. Everybody who's watching it later, thanks. I'll let you guys go so we can go back to Big Brother and fast forward it and hope this craziness comes really soon. Thanks again, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.